Hey everyone. So I thought I'd try something a little different. Due to the lack of content on the channel, I felt a little bad about not posting anything for a while. But I have played Yume 2kki on stream, but I didn't really go too in-depth with it. Since that recording, I actually beat the game in its entirety. Well, I say entirety, but there's like 4 different endings, and I only got 3 of them. There's one last ending that takes a lot of time to get, but I thought I'd use that as like a good opportunity to play the game in its full and just kind of check everything out and make it as part of an ongoing series, I suppose. So the version of Yume 2kki that I'm playing is Japanese 0.108. It's the most recent version of the game as far as this video is dated. Unfortunately, I don't know if the game will be updated anymore. It seems like... I'm not quite sure if the game is still in development or not, but it'd be interesting if it was. It'd be really nice if there were people still working on it. If you don't know what this game is, Yume 2kki is a fan-made sequel to Yume 2kki, which was a indie JRPG... indie RPG Maker game that came out a long time ago. It's Yume 2kki, the original, has a Steam release, and I played that. I played the original on there. Yume 2kki, on the other hand, is made by fans, so they had you can get it on like a website or whatever, and there's a whole long instruction list. You could just look it up on the Yume 2kki Wikipedia fan base thing. Anyway, we'll go straight into the game. So here the controls are written, but there's not much complicated control schemes in this game. Basically use Z to interact with things and X to go into your menu. Your first option here is your items that you have. This is always the instructions. There's a funny thing with this instruction item when we get into the dream world, but I'll go over that in a little bit. Or when it becomes relevant, I suppose. This is our character's stats and equips, but that's just a result of RPG Maker requiring you to have an equip menu for your character. Right now, I don't actually have anything equipped, and all my stats are 1. Now, I do believe this changes when you go through the game, but it doesn't really have an effect on anything. It's just kind of like... I can't quite say why that it changes, but perhaps when we progress in the game, we'll kind of see why that happens. Anyway, you start off in this room, much like the original Yume 2kki, and you can't leave the room, and you can interact with the computer, and interacting with the computer is how you save your game and save your progress. As you can see, this first file here has 35 effects collected. The Japanese text reads... the katakana above says fu-i-ru, file, of course, and then urosuki, which is the name of the main character. So I'll go ahead and save this in file 3. You can also access the music room, and you can also look at your data and your tools. However, I'm not quite sure how to get out of the music room all the time, so I won't be going in there until later. So yeah, the reason I kind of decided to do this and the way I'm going to be recording this is that I'm just going to jump into the bed and we're going to go through an entire dream sequence. And when I wake up, that'll be the end of the episode pretty much. And then I will record multiple sessions of that. And we'll hopefully progress the game. Now, I mean, it is pretty easy to just kind of look up everything and try to get all the effects and stuff in one go. But for now, I'll just try to get an effect per episode. I think that'll probably be okay. Eventually, I probably will need to start exploring a little more thoroughly, but we'll see. So, we're in the dream world now. I fell asleep, and interacting with this computer doesn't show anything right now, but later on that will change. And interacting with this TV right now doesn't do anything either. But again, that will change the further we go in. So we start here at the Nexus, and there is a lot of openness right now. We can go pretty much anywhere. There are a few areas locked till later on, but we won't worry too much about that. Right now, we're just going to go find the best effect in the game off the bat. So I believe this world is called... Actually, I don't actually know what this world is called. But, yeah. There's no indication to, like, direct players where to go first. I think that's kind of, like, the genius of this game and Yume 2kki. I would say this game, because it's made by so many people, there's just so much stuff. There's worlds I haven't even seen in this game. And compared to the original Yume 2kki, I think they both have the amount of worlds, or dream worlds to explore. It has its strengths and weaknesses, but I definitely prefer Yume 2kki as a game to explore around in. So we just picked up the bicycle effect, and we can access that by going to our menu, choosing this, and here we go. Oh, whoops, I woke up by accident. Looks like I forgot how to play this game. We won't really count that as a whole episode, but we'll go we'll go back in. I didn't mean to do that. We'll go back into the world we were. So interestingly enough, what happened just now, you might notice that the background is a little differently. For some reason, it starts you at the other entrance to your dream apartment. There are two versions of the dream apartment in the dream world. There's one where you can actually exit the dream world, and then, well, we'll talk about that a little later, actually. Actually, I just ran into it. So basically, this version of the dream world is Urasuki's apartment, but it looks a little bit different, obviously. There are certain events and things that can happen here, but I won't be going over them too much. We'll kind of try to find them later, as we'll probably need to in order to unlock the true ending of the game. The amount of like stuff to see in this game is pretty off the charts. There's like over like 100 different events. This place is kind of eerie, honestly, if you listen carefully. Yeah, basically someone knocks back. I might need to turn up the volume for that. I will say that one of the reasons I wanted to play this game was because it's just such an interesting game, and there's just a lot of like interesting ideas from all kinds of different people who just wanted to make something interesting. But yeah, you can knock on those doors, they'll knock back. Some of the more horrifying things are kind of in here. Yeah, this room is a bit strange. There's a crying baby, and there's also all this blood and a tentacle through the wall. It's just a very strange place. If you, well, later on, if you get the chainsaw effect and you attack this lady, some more unpleasant things will happen, but we won't be doing that until maybe later when we probably have to. This room is pretty important. This is where you drop off all the effects that you find in the game. We won't really need to access this till much later though, so we'll come back to this. So those are the two rooms there. The room at the end over there, I'm gonna go back in later. There's just some stuff that we probably need to get first before we go in there. This room actually is pretty interesting. This room changes depending on just random luck, pretty much. So sometimes you can enter this room and this won't even be the same room. It'll be a glitched out version of this room. Hopefully we'll run into that later. But on each iteration of the dream world, that the hiragana on this wall changes, which is pretty interesting. As far as who this character is, I have no idea. Apparently, oh, we're here. Sometimes I kind of forget where we end up in these dream world places. Also, I'm not sure if this was an intended effect. So you get transported to this world. I forgot what the name of this is called, but normally it's all lit up, but for some reason, entering through that room darkens the entire area and silences the world for some reason. it's very eerie, and I don't quite understand why this happens, but it does seem intentional. I'm gonna go through this door. And it seems like I'm back again. So we'll just try going up here again. So yeah, we're back here, and we'll explore that world later. There's a very infamous thing in that world. As you can see, we're checking out some of Urasuki's neighbors. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange game. Sometimes you run into really creepy things, and sometimes you run into really silly, friendly things. I would say most of the game is more friendly than Yume 2kki, but I definitely think that this game gets way more eerie. As you can see, this whole area is kind of a mess. And I've cut myself in two, which is a fun little joke. But yeah, this area is just kind of weird, and it kind of disturbs me, but yeah, there's just all kinds of weird stuff going on in this game, but that's kind of why I think it's like one of my favorite games. It's just really fun to explore and really fun and interesting to look around. I actually have not been here before, so surprisingly enough, so I guess we'll just take a look. Oh, we're back here. Is that written in kanji or katakana? I can't really, I think it is, but I can't really make it out. It seems that entering those rooms just kind of bring you back to the dream apartment. I wonder if there's a trick to it. Well, if I can't figure it out, then I suppose we'll just go back in. But perhaps there's a trick later on that I need to look up. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where I think you should kind of play it a few hours by yourself first, just to kind of get a good idea of what the game's about. And then when you're really, really lost, you can just kind of look up a guide and play it with that, because it is kind of hard to find things unless you're actively kind of looking for them. I kind of wanted to go back to that world we were originally at. I believe this is the one. So about this area, I actually really like the music here, but right now, apparently it's nighttime, quote unquote. Now, we can change this by interacting with a certain thing on this map, but this map is actually pretty huge, so I'm gonna enter this area, and entering that area, or this area right here, and exiting actually changes the entire environment. We've kind of teleported somewhere else now, so I'm actually gonna get on the bike and gonna speed this up. Yeah, it's a bit of a long road, but we're getting there. Oops, sorry, I need to pause for a second. All right, no worries. But about the game being like kind of scary and eerie, but also like somewhat pleasant and peaceful, I think that kind of really reflects what a dream is like sometimes. I know NitroRad did a really great video about this game, and I always go back and watch that video just because I think it's really well done. Something to the right here you can find is, it's one of those things where it's a bit eerie, but also a bit peaceful. Yeah, sometimes that thing appears. That's just weird, but also, sometimes sitting on this bench is a child, and for some reason, the child's not here right now. Perhaps it'll appear later, but who knows. Yeah, that's one of the more horrifying things of the game. That sound effect just doesn't seem right. It sounds like a child laughing, but perhaps it's been kind of distorted to... I've actually... to be quite honest, I'm trying to put on a tough face. I've actually never seen that NPC before, so hearing that noise just kind of freaked me out a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't result in any strange jump scares. But from here, it looks like we can go into like different worlds. This one probably leads to the insect world. I won't go there yet, but this leads to some more tree world? I don't know. But we're gonna go right here. I actually quite like this area a little bit. A lot, sorry, not a little bit. This is like an art museum, so it's pretty cool. You can interact with all the paintings here. And this guy right here, I've actually never seen him before. Sometimes it's not open. Yeah, the thing about Yume 2kki is that sometimes the dreams are just a little bit random, and it's kind of hard to like see everything in one go. You just kind of have to get lucky with some things. But I think that makes for a really interesting experience, because sometimes like you'll run into things that like maybe another player didn't, and so it just makes like a good game to talk about sometimes. As far as what this guy's painting, I have no idea, but it's a bit strange how the paint kind of trails to the left there, but I don't know, he could just be kind of working hard over there. Anyway. Oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that happened. I haven't actually... You can only interact with the paintings that have like a white little display thing on them. I don't want to go in here. That's a terrifying world. And yeah. This is one of the stranger worlds as well. Unfortunately, this is an area I didn't really want to go to right now, but I guess we're going into it. Hopefully I don't get stuck here. I forgot this was... Yeah. So basically this is like a block world, and you can actually change your size here, but I do kind of forgot how to do it. Anyway, this puzzle is like straight out Legend of Zelda, but yeah, it's a bit tough to navigate, but it looks like I got out, so. Yeah, now we're in this toy world area, which is a bit strange. But it seems like I'm stuck in this cube, which is a bit strange as well. And they can't seem to exit? Oh, well, the exit's tiny, I guess, but oh well. Yeah, as far as how to get out of here, I'm a bit unsure. Perhaps I'm just stuck here till I... Well, I hope I'm not stuck here. That would be kind of a shame. There's probably a way out. I'm probably not seeing it though. Oh well. Yeah, you can see how this game gets kind of convoluted sometimes. I'm just trying to figure out where to go. But yeah, that's why I thought it'd be kind of an interesting thing to like look around and just kind of like see how lost I can get and kind of explore the world and see if I could see things that I missed before that maybe some people who have also played this game may not have seen. But yeah, generally I wanted to keep these episodes somewhat short, so I might have to just exit out of this one. Now, you might be wondering what the heck that was, but I just squished a shadow lady. Basically, there's a mini game here where you can play tic-tac-toe with that shadow woman, but yeah, needless to say, I think we won't be doing that anytime soon. Anyway, I think I am going to wake up from the dream now, so I think I've gotten myself stuck here, so I'm going to go in and wake up. And yeah, so that was our first little dream session. Alright, so we saved the game, and I think I'll be ending the episode now. So yeah, this is kind of how this series will work. I'm just going to do like short little episodes where I go into a dream world, and then when I get out, that'll be the end of the episode. If it's too short, maybe I'll do another session, but generally these episodes will be like 10 to 20 minutes-ish. But yeah, it's just, this is a fun game to talk about, and I really wanted to just talk about it with myself, really. So yeah, myself and share the thoughts with other people. But yeah, anyway, see you guys next time.